Hello and welcome to the Fit and Free podcast. This is a podcast for women who want it all, to feel strong and confident in their bodies, as well as enjoying a sneaky mug on a Friday night. I'm an exercise physiologist and sports nutritionist, here to teach you how to achieve your body goals without food and your body controlling your life. So let's jump in. Hello you guys, welcome back to another ep of the Fit and Free Potty. I've got such a juicy episode for you guys, and I know so many people are struggling with this, and I myself once struggled with this so bad. And this is the whole concept of eating out guilt-free without it impacting your body composition goals. Rewind 5 years, the version of me, I was terrified of eating out. I was so afraid of going out for food because I was so afraid of those excess calories. Anytime someone would invite me to go out, immediately it would send me into a spiral. The thoughts would be, oh my God, I don't want to waste the calories. Oh my God, there's so many calories in the food. It's going to undo all my progress. Oh my God, if I go out and I'm going to eat this food, that means I'm going to gain weight. And I look back on it now and it actually breaks my heart because I am a full-time foodie. I get so much pleasure and satisfaction and joy by going out and sharing a meal with the people that I love, going out for a cocktail on a Friday night with my friends. And for a really long period of time, I was so fucking afraid of doing that. And because of that, it started impacting me on such a deeper level. I started socially isolating myself, which then impacted my mood. I started feeling really down and depressed. And then I would always make up excuses to being like, well, I have to work on this. I've got to work on creating content. I've got to work on my business. I've got to do X, Y, and Z. But at the same time, because I was avoiding and distracting myself, I wasn't actually fulfilling my needs in a really positive way. So while yes, I didn't have that social connection from the people that I loved, I was also then feeling really depressed because I wasn't filling up my cup and fulfilling my needs in the way that they needed to be. So therefore, I started, becoming a really emotional person, and I started getting angry. I started lashing out. I had all these adverse effects because I wasn't allowing myself to actually do the things in my life that I really wanted to do because I was so fearful of the calories. I was so fearful of undoing my progress. But the thing is that I couldn't always avoid it. I absolutely couldn't always say no. There were situations where I had to go. And I remember going out for dinner and we were going out for Thai and I was there with my friends and there was a part of me that was really excited, but the other part of me was fucking terrified. And we got there and everyone was ordering their meals. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to be good. I'm going to order the healthiest option. So I'm going to opt for a stir fry and I won't eat any of the rice. When the plate arrived, they bring out the rice, they bring out the stir fry. And then I was like, okay, cool. Maybe I will just have a little bit of rice and then I'll have load up on all the vegetables and the chicken and the protein. So I plated up my meal with the rice and all of the veggies and the protein, and then I start eating it. And I feel okay, but at the back of my head was like, don't eat too much. You're going to undo your progress. You're eating so many calories. And then just even start thinking about the ways that I was going to work it off. I would then finish my rice on my plate where I still had a heap of veggies and protein. And I thought to myself, I was like, nope, you can't have any more. You said you were only going to have half the rice, so you can't have any more. But then there was a part of me was like, oh, I really want some more because I'm still really hungry. So I'm going to do it anyway. So it's like that back and forth. And then I was like, no, I'm going to do it. Then I put all of the rice on my plate. Then I continue to eat my dinner. I continue to eat the veggies, the chicken, the rice. And then all of a sudden I've eaten the whole thing. And I think to myself, I'm like, I could eat more. Why am I still hungry after eating this massive bowl of food? Holy shit. Why can I eat so much? And then, of course, I look around at everyone else on the table who have not finished their entire meal and they're saying that they're full. And I'm like, what the fuck? I have eaten all of this, all of my rice, and I still feel hungry. Like, what the hell is wrong with me? Why am I eating so much? I'm eating this much. That means I'm going to get fat. Holy shit. And then the shame spiral starts. Then the shame spiral of like, holy fuck, I told myself I wasn't going to eat that extra rice. How could I do that to myself? Oh my God, I've eaten so much in comparison to everyone else. That means I'm going to get fat. I've just eaten such a big meal and this is way more food than I would normally eat at home. So therefore, it's going to make me fat. Right? I used to go into this downward shame spiral, and when people were having this conversation, I was sitting there spiraling in my head, thinking and being fixated on about the food that I ate, what my body is now going to look like, and then thinking of ways of how I was going to change my body. Right? It is so controlling and you can't be present. You can't be present in the experience because you're so fixated on thinking about all the shit that you just ate and how you've undone your progress and how you're going to get fat and how you're going to work it off. And then what did I do, right? Then I made a plan with myself on how I was going to work it off the next day, how I have to go for an extra run or go for and do an extra HIIT workout. And I had to punish myself for what I did the night before. Sometimes I would even the next day get on the scale after I had gone out. Oh my God. And of course the scale had gone up, which would then send me into a bigger spiral. It is such a vicious and toxic spiral. It truly is. And if you're struggling with this, I freaking see you, because it is so difficult to be able to break free of these thoughts and these feelings in and around eating out and how it's going to, make you gain weight, make you gain fat, undo all your progress, and then all the mental fixation on how you have to fix it. So I want to be evidence for you guys that it is absolutely possible. It is so possible for you guys to eat out guilt-free without it impacting your body composition goals. And the reason why I can say that with so much conviction is because I do it every weekend. I have gone from this insecure, fearful version of myself to this really confident and food-loving girl who has her cake and eats it too. And it is absolutely possible for you guys once you understand why it's happening to you and how to fix it. So I first had to learn how to do this and nail this when I first moved to Bali, because I didn't have access to everything that I once had back in Australia. And to eat out in Bali, it was cheaper than to cook at home. So in this moment was exactly when I had to learn how to eat out without it impacting my progress, because I didn't have a choice. So I lived in Bali for 9 months and I ate out at least once a day, and it did not impact my physique. And that's because I understand how to do it and there's a strategy in behind that. But before I get there, I really want to talk to the common mistakes that people are making that is actually increasing their feelings of guilt, and that the mistakes that are actually causing this problem. And it's actually quite ironic because it's these things that we think that we have to do in order to fix the problem that's actually making it worse. So I've got a few for you and I'm excited to break them down, because this might bring you into some awareness of being like, holy shit, this is why this is happening to me. Okay, so the first mistake that I see people make with this is they think they should save their calories. I remember doing this. I knew I was going out for dinner on a Saturday night. So I would wake up, I would skip breakfast, I would have a black coffee. Then as a snack, I would have some rice cakes. And then for my lunch, I would have some protein and some vegetables. And then I wouldn't eat anything for the rest of the day until I went out, because I had to save my calories. Then what happens? I walk into the restaurant absolutely starving, like hangry, being like, oh my God, I need to eat something ASAP. Then I would order my meal. Then what would happen? The meal would come. I would eat it. I would then eat it all. I would then, like I told you in my story, I would compare myself to everyone else because I've eaten so much. and I was still hungry. And then, which then creates these thoughts, right? Of, oh my God, I've just eaten all of this food. I've eaten too much, and therefore it's going to make me gain weight. Right? And this is the thing. People think they're doing the right thing by saving their calories, but it's actually setting themselves up to lose control at nighttime and therefore fall into a shame spiral to make it mean all the reasons why they've eaten too much and getting fat. Right? The second mistake I see people make with this is when they do go out, they focus on ordering the lowest calorie option, right? They're thinking to themselves like, I really want the burger, or I really want the pasta, but that's bad, that's unhealthy, I can't have that. That's going to make me gain weight. So I'm going to opt for this unsatisfying salad, right? So then what happens? You're sitting at the dinner table and then everyone else's food comes out and you have absolute so much fucking FOMO. You're like, oh, I wish I had that burger and here I have this shit little salad. So what happens? You eat the salad and then you finish the salad and you think to yourself like, oh, I feel like physically full, but not mentally full. Like I'm still hungry. I still want to eat more. I'm not yet satisfied. So then what happens? You go home and then you think to yourself, well, I need to eat something else because I'm not satisfied. Then you end up in the cupboard balls deep in half a block of chocolate. Again, making you feel so shit and so shameful of your behaviors. And you think to yourself like, why did I do this again? I keep promising myself it's going to be different, but it never is. Third mistake I see people make is avoiding the social situation altogether. Right? And again, this is exactly what I used to do. Say no, 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 until you can't say no anymore. Then you have to go. And then you're like, oh my God, what the fuck do I do? There's so much anxiety. There's so much stress in and around the situation that you just either go balls to the wall and just eat whatever. And then all of a sudden you're like, fuck, well, I fucked up tonight. So I'm going to, just eat whatever I want for the rest of the weekend. And then I start again on Monday. Or the opposite, you go out and you eat the food and then the next day you restrict. You eat nothing for the entire day to make up for it, right? And both of these are such a problem, right? Because if you're going into the boat of like, well, just screw it for the rest of the weekend, you're definitely going to be overeating on your total calories and therefore you're not going to see a sustainable change in your body. But if you go the other way and you completely restrict yourself and undereat, what that is doing is then that's just setting you up for another overeating, restricting cycle, right? And again, an ineffective way. It's heaps of calories, no calories. Too many calories, not enough calories. Too many calories, not enough calories. And you can see how that is also an ineffective way to change your body composition as well. So you can really, really see how these are really big mistakes in terms of what people are doing when it comes to eating out that is ultimately affecting their body composition goals. The next one is people are making the mistake of becoming over-reliant on MyFitnessPal. They are so freaking afraid to go out because they don't know the calories and because they can't trust their hunger and fullness cues because they've been relying on an app for so freaking long. It makes them feel like a rocky boat. Like, oh my God, I have no control over this right now. Oh my God, I'm so fearful of eating too many calories because if I eat too much, then I'm going to gain weight, all the things. So when they're going out, it just makes them feel so freaking uneasy. And again, they'll either go two ways. They're going to eat too much and actually overeat and go into a spiral of restriction. Or again, that same pattern of when they eat too much and then they say, F it for the rest of the weekend, I'm just going to start again, right? And again, another really ineffective way of changing your body composition. Because until you build trust with your hunger and fullness cues, you're never going to be able to eat out and enjoy yourself guilt-free without it impacting your body composition. So they are the biggest mistakes that I see. And why these mistakes are such a problem is because it's these things that are causing the lack of consistency with nutrition. Because until you learn how to eat for satisfaction, trust your hunger and fullness cues, not rely on MyFitnessPal, and actually learn how to eat enough during the day so that you don't lose control at nighttime, you're never going to be able to enjoy yourself when you're eating out absolutely guilt-free with the confidence knowing that it's not going to impact your results. And ladies, I am here to tell you there's absolutely another way. There is a way of eating out guilt-free without it impacting your results. And that is why I am launching my new masterclass of how to eat out guilt-free without it impacting your results. This masterclass is for you if you feel anxious about eating out, if you're feeling really guilty anytime you eat out and you fall into a shame spiral, you feel like you have to compensate with exercise the next day after you go out, or you're so over the vicious cycle of undoing all your hard work every time you go out and promising yourself it's going to be different, but it never is. In this masterclass, I am condensing 6 years worth of knowledge of mastering the art of eating out guilt-free without it impacting your body. We're going to get to the root cause of why you actually continue to overeat when you go out, why you're actually feeling guilt and where it's coming from, how to build trust back with your hunger and fullness cues so you can stop when you actually feel full and satisfied, and know exactly how much to eat when you go out without having to be a slave to MyFitnessPal, so you can enjoy every bite guilt-free, knowing it won't ruin your progress. If this is something you feel like you need in your life, it is currently on pre-sale for just $27. The price will be increasing on the 16th of February and it will be going up to $97. So you'll want to get your butt in there now. The link for that will be in the show notes below. So I can't wait to see you all in there. I hope you enjoyed this episode and I will see you guys in the next one.